Very much, I appreciate it. So it's 5:30, we'll go ahead and get started.
So everyone's here but Luema and Misty.
Yes.
So everyone was given minutes or emailed out the approval of minutes. I'll approve.
I'll second it.
Make a motion, sorry. It would be Cedric.
To it.
That's nice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, those are approved. No guests among us. Any reports from committees?
I do too much
Move
right.
past that. No committees. Unfinished business. Splash pad update.
Splash pad is, it's been a slow, arduous process, guys, and at my best effort, I still can't make people do stuff. You know what I mean? I was told that if I got the trench for the electric and the blocks moved closer, we'd finish that building for you. I was like, okay, so I moved 460 blocks, and got them, and I haven't seen them in a week now. And so I made a call today and asked, when I could expect to see them back out there. And they said, oh, they're gonna try to get out there tomorrow and knock that out. And I was like, greatly appreciate it. I'm running on the timeline here. People, you're killing me. But, I know I'm getting a lot of consideration, a lot of favors, a lot of low cost things, but it doesn't mean that I'm still not working against this timeline.
Right.
So one better, the components that I now have money to buy these feature components, and the salesperson from Vortex, I called her, the one that sold us all the other stuff, and told her that I was going to send you an email that had the requests we have and give me the most bang for my buck, because I only have one feature picked out. So if you can give me the best two that will go with this, really don't care right now. I just need 3 to finish this grant, and I'm running on a very short timeline. I haven't heard back from her, and I got money to spend,
Right.
like, so
Man.
it's crazy times. I know y'all probably see it on the news everywhere. I mean, people are hiring everywhere, and people are fighting about masks and whether we should stay in or out. It's crazy times, but it is coming together, and I anticipate that we will have it finished by our November deadline. I don't think it'll be finished any sooner, though. We'll be pushing the November deadline. Now that I'm seeing how things are falling in place, I can say that we're going to probably need all that time. Yeah.
Daddy-daughter dance.
Daddy-daughter dance was a success, guys. We made our deposit today. We paid for the pictures today. We have the envelopes. They had some here.
Okay.
They're a little bigger than 5 by 7, but I figured as long as they're, they're a little, I think they're probably 8 by 10. Okay. But I have 100 of them. Hey, Missy. But I have 100 in the box, and we said we needed 78, so I got 20. And I got them at the community center, so I have those. I'd say it was a success, and even though we had postponed it and delayed it, and people were extremely looking forward to it, and it's continues to be a success every year.
All right. We'll move to new business. 5-year plan.
Yeah, I know we have some folks who want to get out quick, so I know I have it at A, but if we go over the other things real quick and then come back to this last, if y'all mind, if we reshuffle it around.
All right, we'll go to Haunted Trail.
Haunted Trail, we have letters that we're sending out to the participants or hopeful participants. The fire department, the police department are involved. We're going to have an obstacle course. It's going to get bigger and better every year, and this is going to be an improvement over last year. I think we're still in this weird COVID time, so people are still looking for safe opportunities to do things. I think it'll be bigger than it was last year. Change the times a little bit because it was so light when we started, and people were finished, and so many kids didn't even come to be a part of it because we were finished. So they changed the hours to 5 to 8, and I have already got a bunch of people asking me, are we doing it again? Can we be a part of it this year? And so have plenty of space, and I would like to try to keep it on the West Hall side like we had it last year. I know I have all the rest of that trail, but I still got ongoing construction that'll probably still be unresolved in October. So I'm hoping I don't get more participants than I really have space to socially distance people around the trail still, even though you get that many people that we had last year. I mean, they were still stacked up on top of each other eventually. You know what I mean? But it was a huge success, and I expect another one this year. And that will be on October the 30th, which is a Saturday.
Mother Son Dance.
If we can knock down that day, guys, pick either the 6th or 13th, didn't really matter to me. I know both those dates are available. That way we can start preparing and I can work it into my life and be ready for it.
If we do the 6th, I won't be here. We have a tournament in
Okay.
Pickwick.
The 3rd. I think as far as I know, it'd be better for me. I got also cheer competition on the 7th, so
Missy, it's kind
I'm
of
ready.
been your show for so long. Which is better for you?
I don't know that one or the other's any better. I guess just the one that more of the other people can come.
Did I say the 13th then? That's one we all, and that gives me a little time after Halloween. I mean, I'm gonna have barbecue fest and Halloween. October's gonna be extremely busy. Car show,
Well, that would give
concert.
you 2 weeks versus if we done the 6th, it
Yeah.
would be the very next weekend.
Yeah, I will gladly accept the 13th as a solid date and go ahead and start
Okay.
working that into a realization.
I will say one thing about this is we need to make sure, we always have to push the mother son dance a little bit more than we have to push the daddy daughter dance.
We start the advertising sooner,
Yeah.
posting sooner.
Yes.
I agree.
We can just get that pushed out a little bit sooner.
And once again, hence picking down that date. Like I said, I can start making this a real thing now that we know it's the 13th. We can start making posts on the city page, parks page, Facebook. We start getting the word out that, we had to delay some things, but we're up and running. And right now, November 13th is Mother Son Dance. Let's get ready to have another party. Yeah.
And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's never going to be what the daddy daughter dance is.
No,
but
Daddy Daughter Dance was great this year. I
just an
mean,
option.
but I have had somebody ask me just the other day, have we ever considered doing a mother son dance? I said, we do one every year. So we will definitely put a lot of advertising into this, Missy. We'll make sure it gets out and we can start sooner than later.
Well, and it's like always, the little girls rather go get dressed up and the little boys could care less.
Right. Well, if we keep these disco lights going, I mean, I know the lights were a lot there was a lot of motion, but it seemed to be a pretty big success. Everybody really dug the multitude of flashing lights and whatnot. So maybe we can
love the glow sticks.
Yeah, so if we can glow stick and laser party, maybe if we can maybe advertise that we got, lots of lights and glow sticks and stuff, we get a lot more boys interested, they'll drag their moms out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of moms making their sons come.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So we see if we can't flip this script a little bit.
Yep.
All right, move to community center programming.
Okay, community center programming, it's in my vision statement. It was in the strategic plan that I started on at the beginning of this year. Doing more routine scheduled events. The teen program is not very lucrative, guys. I don't know that I'm going to be able to validate it continually. We started the year with 50 applications for information, and even though just like I had it from last year, I'll still give you a new one. Take time, make sure your phone number's same, and let me get your parents to sign it saying it's okay for you to leave on your own account. Keeps everything fresh. I gave away all 50 of them already. Some of them I had to give another one because it's the same few kids. They keep coming and they don't bring back their paperwork. I give them another one. I've had a whopping 9 kids on a busy day, and they stay maybe till 3:30, and then I'll lose. And then I have one boy who stays all the time, and so I've been talking to him because I get to know him pretty well because it's just me and him and Tina. And so I don't know if it's COVID, if it's the way they're doing activities after school immediately and not, huh?
They go to basketball, football practice right after school.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of things that I can accredit it to, but even last year, throughout the entire year, my numbers weren't as stellar as years past. And I think it primarily had to do with organization and rules being enforced at the community center. You know, even if we didn't have structured events, we tried, you know, say we're going to do dodgeball today or we're going to do this today. And that was a flop immediately. You know, it was like, okay, they just want to do what they want to do. Well, that's fine. So you can do what you want to do, but what you can't do is you can't make out. You're not going to look at, you know, information on your phone that you shouldn't, you know, and if I sneak it behind you and see it, I'm not going to be happy, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to let it go unnoticed, because if it was my children in there, I would hope that the adult in charge would be doing the same, you know? So I don't think they like it. I don't think they like it. You know, they just assume, you know, go home. If I'm going to have to follow home rules here, I just assume go home, you know? And so I think I'm going to probably end up dissolving the teen program, maybe try it again next year if it's an un-COVID world we live in and kids are able to do more things. A lot of parents, I see, are picking their kids up immediately after school. They don't want them doing a lot of stuff. I can make a million excuses. I just don't know if I can keep justifying the program if it's not, I mean, I'm not going to babysit one little boy.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so I'll still have spin classes, some other stuff, but maybe I can do some different programming and use my volunteer or my part-time help in a different fashion. So arts and crafts weekends and family fun nights on Wednesdays, some different programs we're going to try to start implementing some of these. Probably be after fall break is over. We're going to let the teen center run through fall break at least to see if something dramatically different happens. Don't anticipate it. But then we'll try to do some different things, you know, and spend my money in a fashion that might suit our community better. I just don't feel like, you know, this is really a warranted program. If nobody's going to take advantage of it, it's basically glorified babysitting, and I don't mind doing it. But if you're not going to take advantage of it, then I'll find something else. Maybe you will.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of this stuff is in the 5-year strategic plan as far as annually scheduled events and things like this that I'm going to start trying to implement as we move forward. Vice pad's going to be finished soon. Grass is not going to be growing as much, so I'm going to have more time to start orchestrating. And once I get it set up in a fashion in which it reoccurs all the time, I can work it into my life, and it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? As far as having to throw it together, I know it's coming up. I can get planned for it and be ready for it a month in advance, you know, where when it's time to do it, you just roll it out and let's have this party, whatever it might be.
You can move to the 5-year plan.
Yeah, you know, if we go and just finish this up real quick, we're going to be out here. I don't know if y'all had time to look it over. I gave you a rough draft some time ago, and then we discussed that we needed to have another town hall meeting, and we really couldn't because of COVID. We broadcast it over Facebook. It asked for a poll, if you will, and we got quite a few responses, and it seemed like the number one requested thing was a swimming pool, which is not going to happen, guys. I don't mind telling you this. I mean, we're going to get a splash pad. It's the best trade-off that you're going to get for the swimming pool. But I have implemented the things that were in there into the new strategic plan, as well as finishing the things from the original strategic plan. When I took over, there was a lot of things that hadn't been done yet. You know, and worked diligently this year trying to get a lot of it done, but there's still some things that, well, and they're bigger things like bathrooms at all the parks was one of the things that was requested in 2017. We have one at Gardini and we have one at Howard Field. Arrow Mines does not, and Rotary or Halon Wall does not. There's one at the ball field, but it's so far away, it's not really a bathroom for the park. And both of those two parks that don't have facilities that are the heaviest used parks that there are. Dog park is heavily used, but the bathroom at Howard Field, in my opinion, is not too far if you have to run use the bathroom, you know? And for that matter, it's not too far to run over there if you're at the other park. I get that, but if you have kids, it's too far, you know? Can't go now. You know, so I would like to see that realized, and I know it might take another 5 years to get that to happen because of funding. You know, it's going to be $50,000 or better to build 2 bathrooms just like the ones we have. Yeah. But what I need from everybody is an okay to present this to the commission. So I can take it to some of Miss Willie and everybody and say, hey, this is the game plan for the next 5 years, which I know it didn't happen with the last one. This should be addressed every year. So I think every September, it's in my book, to discuss the strategic plan, where we are and what we need to do to get to where we said we really wanted to be, like the walking trails. Missy had said something about we'd like to have more walking trails within our parks. So I've looked at some RTP grants and found a better thing than actually RTP, which is rural trails and paths, is a NEEF, is NEEF, and it's about handicap accessibility and inclusion. And a walking trail is a awesome way to link everything together. And if it's a nice paved walking trail that starts at the handicapped accessible parking lot, it makes your whole park handicap accessible, you know? So I'm looking into some things like at Arrow Mines and at Halong Wall, where the actual trail could incorporate so that you could get over by the ballpark and back around by the basketball court, and you could take this trail all through the park, but it would start over at the parking lot. That's not existing yet either. But so there's a grants through this, and I was ill prepared for what it was going to take to make the deadline this year. Didn't get the information till late to begin with, and when I got it, it was like I have to know how many handicapped people are in my neighborhood, and I don't know. And I had to have them involved in the process, kind of like we did with the splash pad. They have to be involved. So this is going to be a lengthy process to get the free money. It's not a matching grant; it's just free money. Kind of like the splash pad took several years just to be able to apply for it. It'll be it'll probably take me all of this year, remaining year. I'm going to talk to Nicole Reason because she is in a wheelchair to see how I can better sell this to this NEEF corporation and is get the monies for here. You know, and I think we could do that at all of our stuff. And the grant that we wrote for Gardenia Park for the 4th time, we've been turned down 3. We've wrote it again this year with a twist. We did some research to find out how much handicap park equipment there is in Murray County. There's one, Jared's Park in Murray County Park, and it's kind of sad at best if you've ever seen it. You know, it's kind of not maintained well. So for the most part, there is no handicap park in Murray County. Not really. You know, not a really good one. And all this new playground equipment that you can purchase is geared with ADA accessibility in mind. So we've added this to our grant paperwork this time around. Don and I did, saying that, you know, this is what we like to have, a handicap inclusive park in Murray County. You know, this is a great location for it. You know, there's no playground equipment there. We have a swing set. We've put disc golf there. So the fact that we're spending time and attention at the park says to Blue Cross Blue Shield, well, we care about this space. We're not just asking for money. You know, so fingers crossed, guys. You know, this might be our year to get it. But I think it would require a vote on this. If y'all can vote for me to take it to the commission and ask for the opportunity to run with this as a roadmap, if you will, that will be visited every year to be amended. It's a living document, you know, and I think the last one was a pretty static document that you just kind of sat around. Whenever I got the chance, even though I helped participate in presenting it to the commission as a Parks Board member, I never went back to Tom and said, let me look at our strategic plan and see where we are, man. Let's talk about it. Never did that. Never, but now that I'm in it, I think we should talk about it annually every year, where we are, how we need to improve it, how we need to get where we need to be. So, if we can pass this one as is and maybe present it to commission, and we'll move forward with finishing up the 2017 stuff and trying to implement some of the new things that. Have y'all seen Rotary Park's mulch that I put down? I put a new barricade up around all of it except for a little entrance spot so you can walk into it. And the last flood we had, I didn't lose any mulch. All mulch is still there. It's nice and spongy when you walk on it. It's kind of soft because it's rubbery. It's pretty cool.
So I make a motion to accept the strategic plan as is and present to the commission board.
I just have a question first.
Okay.
Okay, you said that one of the top things for stakeholders, community was a swimming pool, but I just don't see that on here.
It's in, I think if you look on there's on other notable community requests, at the very last of it, next to last page.
I just wouldn't want somebody
It's at the bottom.
to look at it and say they didn't put my something.
Yeah,
It's in there.
page 19.
Okay.
Yeah, it says other notable requests with a swimming pool, skateboard park, and a.
Because that I just know the Nelly negative people that first.
Yeah,
email
I agree with that, yeah.
Like,
It's kind of like the
I
whole,
sent it 2 emails and why is that not in there? And they do not have nothing to do with.
it's like the whole walking trail connected throughout
Yeah.
the city of Mount Pleasant. I mean, it's a novel idea,
Great, but it's not.
Feasible.
but
Yeah,
are
can't
y'all
do
gonna let me build 2 bridges that go across the major highways, little pedestrian
I mean,
bridges?
you can,
I'm not gonna get the money. You know?
You can,
if you want to.
Yeah,
but
I mean, whatever.
yeah, but, you know, not to say that it can't ever happen in Mount Pleasant's lifetime.
Right.
You know, not to say that you shouldn't keep it as a desire, because I think it's a great desire to have, to be able to walk from one. So we started it through Merchant Street going to Arrow Mines Park. If we could connect it to the park, actually.
Yeah.
And you're not just coming out in the middle of nowhere. You know, if you could actually, you know, which again costs some money because you had to build a bridge. And the people who donated the trail didn't have money to build a bridge.
right.
And then when I started talking to people who know stuff, they were like, "Oh, no, you just can't do that. You'll have to make an arch bridge because of the flow of stuff that gets caught in Sugar Creek." And I was like, "You're looking at maybe $20,000-$30,000." And I said, "Maybe we could do something different."
Put a
But
boat.
state of Tennessee is going to redo that 1-lane bridge right there by the
Yeah.
park. And my hope is whenever that time happens, that they can make some kind of little pedestrian walk next on that bridge so that you can walk on the side of the. That's going to be my request as we move forward with the commission. Is that whenever they do, when the state of Tennessee, I know it's their project, they're doing it, and we don't have a whole lot of dog in the race.
Right.
But if we could ask Scott Sapicki or somebody, when you build this bridge, because there is a nature trail and there is a park and there's a lot of kids around here, if you can make one of those little pedestrian walking things, this guarded, that cars
To
can't hit
keep
you.
them, well, to keep them from walking in the road.
Yeah, keeps them from walking the road, keeps cars from running them over.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
Yes.
And that solves all my problems without building a $30,000 bridge over Sugar Creek. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
I second the motion.
thank you.
I guess the only thing that, I mean, this doesn't really have anything to do with the strategic plan per se, but like on the whole community center and like the teen program, I mean, I just don't want to see it go away until we're back to a normal kind of,
Some sort of numbers.
some kind of normalcy just to see if that has anything. And then I will say this, being a teacher for 20 years, you get like groups of kids where like they may not, no one may use it last year or this year, but then there may come a group of kids where you got 10 that will be there every day.
And
So, I mean, I just hope that could be something that we can revisit.
And I will revisit it whenever the time is right.
Yeah.
I mean, if it happens to be at Christmas time, somebody says, "Hey, man, why does a kid?" I can always revert
Just
back
for a
to
little
it.
bit, just to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. And I just know like right now there are, I mean, like in high school, and I know I'm not sure that that's your huge range of ages. I'm not sure, but you know, like we got football, we got band, we got cheerleading, we got volleyball, we got cross country. Like there's just so
much going on.
much pulling kids right now. And I'm not saying that we just don't have as much maybe in the winter time pulling kids. There's not as many activities going on. I don't know. That's just me. I mean,
Well, last year, throughout the whole year, my best day was 22 children. Okay, and historically, it was the same group of 20. Like you said, it was that
Yeah.
one group that was coming. Dakota and all of his friends was half of that group, and then it was a few, and they were staying for about an hour.
Yeah.
You know, till about it's a great place for you to be picked up while you're waiting for your ride because nobody wants to sit in the car ride line. The majority of the kids I find are hanging out under my awning, and we try to solicit them to come in, get a contract, but they're getting picked up right thereafter. You know what I mean? So we're checking them in, checking them out, and then they're leaving.
and even if it's something where, you know, you do it for a couple weeks and and see like what is maybe your biggest day, and do it 2 days a week instead of 5 days a week, or and then that I don't know. I guess the thing is, like I said, I've just seen ebbs and flows of groups of kids,
And that's
coming
why,
going.
like I said, I wasn't trying to,
Not necessarily in your, but just in general. Like, I just know that sometimes.
that's why I'm trying to find whatever fits them better right now.
Are we making them aware that the teen center is open?
Yeah, absolutely. And even through the children that do come there, it's like, tell your friends, drag them in here. We've gone outside and dragged them in, and said, y'all come in here and wait for your ride.
Yes.
Sign the paperwork, take it home, and come in here and wait here for your ride. Don't sit out under my awning because it's kind of loitering and you're not supposed to be doing that. So come inside, be a part of the program. I got TV on if you want to look at TV.
Yeah.
You want to play basketball, go shoot some hoops. We got pickleball set up. I've got all the stuff set up for them.
And I guess like I look at other things too, like when we have, and we only do it like about 3 times a year, but we have just like open gym where we'll go spend 2 hours. We'll go spend 2 hours in the gym if they're really good, like right before Christmas, and we do it again like towards the end of the year. And
that's the events that I'm talking about, Missy. That's
like kids that that never play basketball or never play this or play that will get out there and just play basketball just because they don't get a chance to, they don't have an opportunity to.
And that's what I want to advertise.
And then a lot of them do ride the bus.
They don't have a way home.
And I talked to my part-time help, and who can't work earlier in the day. It's really challenging for her, but working later in the evenings and stuff. So we could do a 5 to 9 on Wednesday nights. We could do after home games.
And it might take a little planning, but we do have a bus that runs for, what do they call it at the elementary school? Tutoring.
Oh,
Yes.
There's a bus that runs for tutoring. I don't know how we could hook that up and possibly get some of those kids that ride the bus that would want, instead of going home at 3:00 and sitting there till their mama got home at 9, if they could come and play basketball for an hour and a half, and then get to the elementary school or the middle school where that tutoring bus picks them up at. I mean, I know that would take a little bit of
Orchestrating
work.
that.
Yeah.
That's what y'all are here for.
But I think, it's available, and I think as long as they sign up.
I've got Tina for 15 hours. She fits my budget for 15 hours.
And I don't know that that's something to be every day, but if you did it, they knew on Tuesdays, Thursdays.
If I knew that.
For an hour and a half.
And like I said, so if it's something that if I knew was going to be a warranted plan, because I don't mind being there. I got spin classes.
Yeah.
I got stuff, but I'd rather pay Tina to help me do Wednesday nights from 5 to 9.
Yeah.
I want to try it, see if it works.
And then right now, they can hang out outside. It's warm outside, but when it's 30 degrees outside and
Right.
they don't have anything to do, and it's already winter, and they're gloomy, and they've sat in school all day
We already
long.
don't have nothing to do anyway. If you take that teen center away,
Yeah.
we're back to 12 years.
And again, I understand not having it open every day,
Yeah.
maybe, and maybe not right now, especially when things are people are busy, and then in the springtime, maybe not as much because people want to get back outside. But in those few months,
And if the teen center only needs to be, and once again, it's all about budget and money. When it comes down to it, there's actually a cost to have the community center open. Okay.
yeah.
Whenever we leave there and I turn everything off and turn the air conditioners set up on, now that we have new AC that actually works properly, it's on a schedule. So it changes the temperature so that I'm not paying $4,000 a month
Yeah.
to have the community center open. So, of course, there's a lot of activity at the community center right now. I have a lot of clubs that come in there in the evening times, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Fast Team,
Yeah.
event
I don't know.
rentals.
That's just me. I don't want to.
Y'all need,
I mean, and
And
again,
I'm not
I
opposed to
understand.
it. Like I have Tina for this process, but like we're sitting there today, we're sitting there, and I have my kids there because they're there because I'm there. So I'm sitting there paying taxpayer dollars to watch my children.
Yeah.
I can't do that, Miss.
Right.
But another thing too that might hurt you too is since all this COVID, there's actually a bus that picks kids up locally here, so their parents aren't having to put them somewhere.
I got it.
So that
Something's
may have
happening.
got-
There's
Well,
lots
that's
of
not
things.
just COVID. That's going to be a forever thing.
Yeah.
They do not want kids walking.
Yeah, which I mean, they started it with COVID, so that could be
They
another
don't-
thing
they
too
don't
of why
want kids
you don't
walking
have as
around.
many kids.
There's so many kids who walk right past the center every day.
Yeah.
Okay, I see them all. And I stand outside. I talk to them. I try to sway them in.
I don't know if maybe, put it on hold, maybe send out some letters if you can contact. I know 100% that bus goes to the elementary school every day at 4:30, 4:45.
I can find out. I mean, Joyce.
Like
works at the
that's
bus stop.
And again, there would have to be some correlation.
Now, what age is this?
It's just the elementary school.
But it did.
'Cause I only take kids
It was available to all schools. I just
Okay.
don't think other schools.
There's some kind of rule about kids under a certain age and the amount of adults I have in the building.
Yeah.
You're gonna,
No, what I'm saying is,
Then they can
I'm just
get to
saying,
the elementary
just
school.
get to the elementary school and get on that bus.
Okay.
Because like for a while, it was, don't forget if you're tutoring today and you need a
Okay.
bus ride, let us know. The bus will come get you, you know. I just don't think our kids access it. And I see it because my window faces the elementary school. So when I'm at school or if I have softball practice, I see that bus come every day. I'm just not sure if it still goes to the elementary or the middle school as well, our school, but it's for our kids.
Okay.
So I would say even there, they just may have to walk to the elementary school or walk to the middle school to grab a hold of the bus.
well, we have
You
it.
could send a letter out and say, you know, if your child comes to the community center, would they have a ride, you know, you better pick them up, we close at 5.
That's
But a lot
another
of
thing.
Parents don't know that if they could come over there and maybe they get off work at 4:30, they can shoot by the community center and get them.
Yeah.
But you got to put that, you know.
Yeah, I
A lot
feel
of paperwork
like
doesn't
there's,
make it home to the to the parents either.
Yeah.
yes, no, it never
Kid
does.
doesn't bring stuff.
It doesn't
home.
get there. But
Yeah, so yeah, maybe that's something. Yeah, they could do a call out or something to kind of let them know.
But
Yeah.
this information is also, the teen center information is also available on our website. Programs on there. I mean,
But I bet you a lot of people don't get on that
Too many
website.
parents ain't gonna get on our website to even look at our commission.
No.
I understand that, Willie. I understand that, but other than having it open, and I see those killers, I see them all walking past the building. I've talked to them. I don't know what else to do to get them in the building.
That's what I'm saying, maybe we could try another approach, and if
Ah.
that don't work, then, you know, do like what I agree with Mitzi, maybe we can do it 1 or 2 days a week or something, you know, you
And
make it take it a week.
even now, like I said, I just feel like right now, it's pretty outside. I mean, I'm going to choose to be doing something outside other than come inside.
And that's why I would choose to spend the money I have differently right now.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying to y'all.
Yeah.
I'm spending money to do nothing. I'm sitting there and I'm doing nothing. She's
So
sitting there,
maybe
she's
instead
doing
of
nothing.
all the way through fall break, 5 days a week, you can.
That's where I'm
cut
going
down.
right now. The fall break is and I haven't said this to anybody right now. Right now, I'm just talking about it.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
saying,
mean, I'm just saying you still maybe wasted your money for the next
I
3
sure
weeks.
might.
So if you cut it down to 2 days a week,
Go
But
ahead and cut it down.
go
if
ahead.
I do go ahead and cut it down to 2 days a week, I might not be able to keep my part-time help because I'm not really ready to orchestrate some of these other events I have. And having someone that's available, I can depend on y'all. I know as volunteers, and I'm very grateful for that. But if I pay somebody, I know she's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know they're going to be there, and I can count on at least I have 2 adults, me and her, to run this event from 5 to 9 on Wednesday nights. Haven't orchestrated it yet, so I thought maybe after fall break, after I see what's really going on with the teen center, maybe.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't feel like you're going to you're still not going to have a good sense of what's going on because it's still up until middle
Between-
of October. It's still hot outside. It's still warm outside. There's still so
Between
many
them fall break,
activities
so many
going on.
sports and stuff going on.
I mean,
And you don't think that last year and what I've seen this year is a good pictation of what I can look forward to? Because I ran it all last year too. And what I'm saying, and last year it didn't feel like it was. Last year I thought this is not going to be a warranted program. I mean, I came up here whenever Thomas had it, and there was 100 kids running around this building. Why? What's the difference? Is it because now we have? And I've made that comment to Miss Granberry, and she says, "Well, Bedford, maybe it's the kids you didn't want anyway. If they couldn't mind if they were making a big wet mess in the bathroom and running wild through the building, maybe that's not the kids you wanted anyway. I'd gratefully have 22 good kids in my building. You know what I mean? But I can't gratefully have one kid in the building.
Yeah, you can't. I look at it from a business perspective. Am I investing this money and is it going down the toilet? Or am I investing this money and it's
And I know what
community
Missy's saying is
stuff?
I probably not going to change between now and fall
Right,
break either.
right.
I can go ahead and in my
At some
mind,
point,
I'm
you gotta
already
cut your
thinking
losses. At
that.
some point, you gotta make an investment.
So I'm thinking I'm going to miss football season for the most part, some of it. I'm not going to get all my home games. I don't have it ready yet, but I'd like to do after home games. Okay, which means I got to have help because I got to have somebody watching my parking lot as well. Because whenever Thomas and I did this one time, we tried to have something after home game. We had a bunch of free pizza, a bunch of free stuff. We only got about 12 kids show up. It was new.
Yeah.
Because everybody want to hang out in the parking lot.
Right.
They didn't want to come inside because you can smoke outside.
Right.
You can vape outside. You can maybe make out outside. You can do some things that you're not going to
Well, I
do.
know there was sometimes, because I went to at least 2 different ones that were after ball games, and it might have been times you weren't there. They were highly, just full of kids, I guess is what I'm trying to
And that's
say.
what I'm hoping to get. It's full of
But
kids.
you have to get the buy-in from the teams. You got to get the buy-in from the
Coaches.
You got to get, I mean, it's not, and this is another thing. I hate to say it's one group of kids, but if you get a certain group of kids there, then they're going to bring another group of kids. And then they're going to be like, well, what are y'all doing? We're going to the community center, the teen center, or we're going after. I mean, we called it, what do we call it?
Fifth quarter. That's, I was trying to think
And
of the
then
whole
you
time.
get like, you know, like our church would sponsor one,
Yeah.
this church, and then so all of our youth kids were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
See, that's a good idea. I like
Yeah.
that fifth quarter.
Yeah.
See that?
I mean,
I
and
grew
we
up
have
doing that
several, I
every
mean,
time.
like
I want to do that.
October, there's September the 24th is the Central Ball game. October 1st is homecoming. We may have homecoming dance and it may not be good. And that's fall break. Then there's the Spring Hill game.
20.
But there's actually, I could do basketball games too.
Definitely
After
do
basketball
ba-
games. I mean,
definitely
so,
do
I mean,
basketball
this
games.
is something that I thought, and I could use my money to pay Tina to help me with these things because it requires cleanup and setup and someone to help me watch it. Still would require some volunteers because I think I'd probably have quite a few kids there for
Right.
these events. Activity going on in my parking lots and things like that. I need some help, you know? And I know so,
That could be things also that the SROs would come and help with, the like kind of help.
fantastic. Yeah.
They have to get so many hours in, have to do activity, like do things so they don't have to work in the summer. I just feel like a lot of that there has to be some communication and
But with these
not
kind of-
all the time. I mean, and I think that sometimes we do that too much. Like we're trying to do one every home
Yeah.
game and that's too much.
But if we do some of these, I think it gives me an opportunity to also say, come to the teen center too.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I can build up a reputation of having a good time at the community center, a fun place, a cool place that you can actually come and just hang
It's
out.
after hours after school.
I've
So.
heard the basketball goals are not good, so really can't shoot all the time they want to because we don't have correct equipment, you know.
You're absolutely right, Willie. I agree with that 100%.
You know.
I agree with that 100%. But the basketball goals that I want, that,
On the-
yeah, and I get that.
Grown people go and shoot basketball, they don't even do it no more.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I have old people who will gladly come back on Wednesday nights. That's why I'm going to start doing the Wednesday night thing because they begging me to open it back up.
I know my son-
Come and play the, D, and Cody
I don't
and
know.
Leslie.
I'm just, I don't know. That just breaks my heart that if we say it's gone. And I just feel like before we say it's gone, we just maybe need to modify it. And maybe we need to try to push it in different ways and see, again, maybe 3 to 5 is not what they need. Maybe they need a 5 to 7. Maybe they need a 6 to, I mean, maybe we're just not servicing the community, like servicing their needs. Because if we had spin at 3 o'clock compared to maybe if we had spin at 6 o'clock, like which one serves the community better? So we just need to maybe figure out what serves the kids better.
I agree. I
I
agree.
don't know.
Is there a way to put something out maybe at the schools to get their feedback on it?
Well, I mean, and I think we do need, like
Like,
you would
the
need
kids'
to,
feedback?
like, give it to the teachers and let the teachers have the kids do it like a right thing. Because if it goes home, it really ain't
It's
never
not
I'm going to talk to Ron. I've already,
Not gonna
Okay, don't talk, you need to talk to the middle school because I feel like that's your group of kids,
Yes, the middle school.
not that high school. You're going to get a,
And the high school will probably do field quarter and all that.
yes,
Yeah.
but you're not going to get a lot of,
It's
it's middle school. Maybe a few freshmen, but once they get those driver license or they get boyfriends or they get girlfriends,
Howdy.
and, unless they just using it to make babies, they come to the teen center. That's, I mean,
Well, I think we never did vote on the motion.
no, I don't think we did either.
sorry.
That's fine.
I don't know. I just keep looking at this place like my
We had a
Well,
motion, we had a
but
second.
it's not, it's not in the strategic plan that the teen center's going away, Missy.
Okay,
It just says
don't do
that,
it.
Modify.
it just says that something's got to
No,
change.
I voted. Sorry.
So if I could get you to vote saying that it would be okay for me to try different stuff.
We had a motion, we had a
For the
second.
strategic plan, we had that.
Strategic plan. We
Yes.
just need to, everyone in,
And you can bring as many kids to the center as you'd like. I would love you to do that. Okay?
I'm gonna say
I'm up.
pet club meeting
Heard that
today.
pet club. Heard that.
Pet club meeting today is at the community center.
Yeah, and it would be great. I mean, really, guys. Everybody else uses it. Set up some.
There you go.
Because you got a lot.
Yeah. So,
Wait
every,
a second. We had a motion. No one made a motion.
I was gonna say, he made the motion to
He
pass
seconded
it, and Mr. Patton seconded it.
Oh, you need
So,
to vote.
all in
So,
favor?
so that's unanimous?
It's unanimous.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta run, people.
Bye, Cedric.
Hey, thank y'all.
When's your next Dixie Youth meeting?
We had it last night.
You did, didn't you?
I'll let you know when it next.
Let me know when the next one is, because, I mean, I want to talk to y'all about, Tony's a great guy. Me and him have been talking, so.
Yes, sir.
And I think Donald Duggar might be somebody that could really help you because he's the new assistant principal at the middle school.
Yes, I met him.
I think that would be somebody that, I mean, he's all about like kids and just like that kind of stuff. I think that
Well, at
he
open house, he and I discussed the teen program, and I told him, I said, I have a lot of y'all's kids last year, you know, and this year I have, I guess because Mila's the one who's bringing the kids over, the ones I have are from the high school. I have no middle school kids. Nova. I have Nova.
and they probably need more structure than,
And so, you know, and of course, sitting in, like, I sit over in the West Hall with them, Misty, I don't know if they just don't like being watched all the time. And, you know, when we catch them doing stuff they shouldn't do, we call them out on it.
Do you offer any kind of snacks or drinks or anything that they could purchase?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yes, and believe me, we buy a lot for them, okay? Because it's just a few. And whenever it's just a few of them, and you want them to keep coming back here, let me buy you some Doritos. Let me give you a Coke. What can I do can you bring some friends? I'm guys, barring forcing them in the building right now, I don't know what to do.
If you send a letter to something home or do a survey, hey, community centers open to 5, that might open up parents'
What would you like to see
I don't
there,
have to worry about April picking up JJ because he can stay up at 5 and I can get him.
What I get most really is adult parents come in and want me to watch their little kids from elementary school. Yeah.
and again, I do think maybe if something got sent out to the middle school, you know, if it was just something like, do you do an after-school activity? What time is your after-school activity over? If something was offered after your after-school activity, you know, of course, not on game days and things like that, but would you, so maybe like Tuesday nights, 3 to 5 is not the best time for everybody. It's 5 to 7, you know, or, I don't know.
Have them do it at school.
Definitely not do it. If they take it home.
And 5 to 7 also
coming
runs
up.
into having groups that are used to the building. Is another thing. I mean, we have groups that come in at, what time's the boys got, 6 to 8? You know, and, you know, when the basketball meets there, what time they meet there?
About 6:30.
Yeah. And I have Girl Scouts on Thursday nights, I have Boy Scouts on Monday nights. You know, I mean, there's stuff going on in the evenings there. Not that, that's why I've gone with Family Fun Nights being on Wednesdays. And I'm not trying to be a negative. I'm just trying to let y'all know that these are some of the things that I'll be up against trying to orchestrate activities after hours. Is I'll be having activities with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts trying to conduct their meetings there. And they've been doing this for a long time there.
But we got two sides working
We
there,
do?
right?
Well, no, not yet.
Not yet.
I'm working on it, Missy.
But
I'm working on
close.
it.
I mean, so
Close.
there's a possibility that we could.
There's some times, yeah.
Maybe
And that's
we
why
could do
Wednesday
like
nights I
down
want to
to
have
2
the
days.
whole center open for everybody in the community. I got pickleball, basketball, cornhole, pool, ping pong, shuffleboard. I have board games. I have spin going. I have spin every hour on the hour on Wednesday nights from 5 till 9.
And again, I really do,
And you
the
got Wednesday night, you got church.
church, yes.
I'm sorry.
But
I
I'm
know
just
that.
saying, if your turnout ain't good, you know why.
But I know that. But that's why I had somebody tell me that already. I was like, well, Boy Scouts meet Monday, Cub Scouts meet Tuesday, Girl Scouts meet Thursdays. I rent the building out almost every weekend. They wanted on Fridays to start setting up. I have Wednesdays.
So I don't know, that I really just think if you try just a couple days, and then, you know, sometimes it's not like that, if it's not available every day, well, they're thinking, oh, it's available every day, I can just go whenever I want to, and then they never really come. But now when it's only available 2 days a week, they miss out on those days, then they're missing out.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that you drive some of that. Maybe if we're not open anymore, maybe you kids won't stop walking past me every day and you start
Yeah.
coming. I'm not gonna sit up here and just watch y'all walk by every day. Yeah, come play.
So maybe you look at doing 2 days a week and then maybe having your fun day on Wednesday. So your 2 days a week are your teen center, and then your fun night on Wednesday. Try to push that, and maybe if you don't do that not every Wednesday, you do it once a month. You have your fun night. Do something like that. Maybe that'll help try to get people.
But we
back
can't do it
in.
every Wednesday because I have Parks and Rec on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I mean, then you do once a month. You have
And
like a
also
fun
that
night.
that might, especially with Wednesdays, that might be a good night to reach out to churches, and churches could have their youth activities
Exactly.
at the community
I
center.
told somebody, I'm not opposed to church being at the community center. This is not a non-religious institution.
Well, there used to be a church that's where they met at,
Yeah.
in the
It starts at
lobby.
the Mount.
Yeah.
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 First,
Yeah, I mean,
it's called something else then.
so far, that's the most participant request I've had for Halloween has been from churches, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm all about working with the churches.
And they used to do it. I can't remember exactly where they did it. It might have been the community center, but like several different churches would all come together, and like on a Wednesday night, they would have all their youth stuff together in an activity. Might have been at First Baptist in the gym area, but so it would be like just a community fun night for teens hosted at the community
Yeah.
center, and then like First Baptist, Methodist, they would just do the pizza or the.
Yeah, and there's a lot of opportunities with programming that we really haven't had time to utilize because I only have a little bit of a budget for programming, okay? And I utilize it all at the teen center, so I like to maybe think, well, if you don't want to do this, maybe you'll do this, and maybe you really like it. I want people to look forward to coming to do it. People look forward to the daddy-daughter dance, Missy. So many people wore me out until we let them, yes, we're going to have it.
Yeah.
We're going to do it again. And I want people to feel that way about everything that happens. And I know that's a grand hope is to have them want to desire everything we do up there. But if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Then we will do something else. I'll take my money.
And I will say this: you're probably burnt out and you're frustrated and you're disappointed because you're the one there every day and nobody's coming, and you're really pushing it. So your heart may be a little bit more jaded than mine and Willie's.
Probably.
You're probably like, I'm over this. Like, move
Well,
on.
the last hour of this day, I made Mila and Collar come up there and sit in the building. So I mean, if there's nobody there, we're gonna go to Collar's house and rehearse the. I said, no, come rehearse it here,
Do it
please.
here, yeah.
I have nobody here.
And it may be all for nothing, and kids still may be like, forget you, I'm over this, I ain't doing it. But if that's the case, then okay, then we're done for this year, but let's give it another try again. next
I
year.
definitely think that the teen center should be a valid attempt. You know what I mean? Because like you said, it might be a different group of kids who would be accepted to it. This group of kids right now is just. Do you know Alan Wheatley?
Yes.
Okay. He's one of my kids, and I caught him doing some stuff he shouldn't be doing, and he's not happy with me right now because I called his daddy. Tell his daddy on him.
Yeah, well, he's also out on contact tracing for the moment too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's just maybe try some different things and revisit. I guess that would be my request.
I'm good with it. Y'all okay with the meeting being early this month? We can put it behind us now. This month's done. I appreciate y'all being here. I know
Yeah,
it
but
was,
it's the second Wednesday of the month.
They-
Like,
they
so
said
technically, it's not early.
but they were telling me because it fell like the first Wednesday fell that historically they would push it to the third Wednesday because I'm actually before commission and study session and everything.
Oh.
It's okay. Then you don't have a week of meetings. You don't have a meeting this week, and then
That's right.
Because when you
But
done,
y'all
I'm
look
like,
good.
Bedford, it's the second Wednesday. That's our normal meet day.
I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you.
All right.
Oh,
We have to have a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
uh,
You're adjourned.